ends somewhere, and beyond that ending, the cartographer wrote, "Here there be monsters." The Norse sailor looked at those words and thought, "Good. That is exactly where I am going." Here there be monsters, yes indeed. That is the address that I need. The place where the known world runs dry, and only the willing dare apply for the crossing, the westward, the beyond, the off the map, the out of bond of everything the careful minds have drawn with their instruments and their careful dawn of classification of the named and filed. I want the unclassified, the wild, the unrecorded, the not yet described, the coast that has not yet been scribed into the ledger of the safe unknown. I want to stand somewhere alone that has never had a man's boot print, and I want to leave one and be in it. Not reckless, hear me, not the fool's errand, not the death wish dressed in navigator's clothes, but the specific and the clearly warranted compulsion of the one who already knows that the edge of the map is not the edge of the world, that the last line drawn is not the last coast, that the horizon is a curtain only furled, and the sailor's job is simply to get close enough to see what it conceals. Beyond the edge of maps, the world keeps going. Beyond the edge of maps, the sea keeps flowing. Beyond the last recorded, the last named. Beyond the edge of maps, the unproclaimed. Coast waits, patient green, already whole. Beyond the edge of maps, the sailor's soul has always known this, always understood. Beyond the edge of maps is where we could have stayed and didn't, and we'll go again. Beyond the edge of maps, there is no end. I have been told the sea is a grave. I have been told the north is too far. I have been told only the desperate and the brave and foolish dare to follow a dead star. Into the dark, into the open, nothing I have been told. The sensible stay home, I smile at this, not mocking, not rebuking. I smile because the sensible don't know what the open water gives back to the one who trusts it fully, what the crossing costs and what it leaves you with when you are done. You cannot buy with everything you've crossed towards safety. It is the opposite of safety. It is the particular and full alive of being somewhere that is only lately discovered by the fact of your arrive. Not arrived, arrived, the present tense, the constant arriving of the open water, the ongoing, the present, vehemence, perpetual first morning, every quarter turn of the horizon. Everywhere you look is new, has not been looked at quite this way by any eye, from any hand, or book by any other hull, on any other day. Not reckless, hear me, not the fool's errand, not the death wish dressed in navigator's clothes, but the specific and the clearly warranted compulsion of the one who already knows that the edge of the map is not the edge of the world, that the last line drawn is not the last coast, that the horizon is a curtain only furled, and the sailor's job is simply to get close enough to see what it conceals. Beyond the edge of maps, the world keeps going. Beyond the edge of maps, the sea keeps flowing. Beyond the last recorded, the last named. Beyond the edge of maps, the unproclaimed. Coast waits, patient green, already whole. Beyond the edge of maps, the sailor's soul has always known this, always understood. Beyond the edge of maps is where we could have stayed and didn't, and we'll go again. Beyond the edge of maps, there is no end. Here's what I know. After 10 years on the water, the world wants to be found. Not taken, not possessed, not conquered, shorter, ended, just found, turned around, and seen clearly in its full reality by the eyes of the one willing enough to cross the ordinary, the banality of the known, and find the rough. An extraordinary ordinary of the first at sunrise that no one else has seen at sunrise. The extraordinary of a river that has never introduced itself to anyone from the east. And here it is, and here we are, and this is the exchange. We see it, and it sees us, and the quiz of existence has its simplest and most strange answer in this moment. We are here, the world is here, we find each other in the open water, past the fear, past the map's last line, past every other reason not to come. We find we touch the shore that waited without knowing it was waiting, and the meaning such as there is in the going. Always, only in the going. So here there be monsters, yes, I'll take it. Here there be the unknown, I'll go there. Here there be the unrecorded, I will make it the recorded. I will bring back what is rare. And when I draw the line on the new map, I will draw it only to the edge of where I went, and leave the re. Let that word settle in your chest. No chart drawn by another hand before. No one who had been here, no address. Directions to the other side, no shore. Described in detail only the accounts of a man named Jarni who turned back, who saw the green and counted the amounts of courage he did not have, and went back. I had the stars, the ones my father named, when I was small and the sky was the whole world. Before the world had borders, before the framed and fenced and known, before the map was furled into the neat and knowable, before anyone had drawn a line and said, beyond this point is nothing, there is no more. I had the stars and everything they said. Polar is fixed above the northern rim. The sun's arc lower, longer, further west. The way the birds flew toward the fading dim of evening, all of it, the compass, the test. Navigate by stars when the world runs out. Navigate by stars when the maps run out. Navigate by what the sky has always known. Navigate by stars and go alone into the nothing that is not nothing, into the blue that holds the other green. Navigate by stars.
Keep going,
past everything,
to what has not been seen.
The sunstone Solarstein in cloudy skies, a crystal that reveals the sun's position. Through overcast, through the gray disguise of northern weather, through the blind condition of sailing when the stars are out of sight. I held it to the sky and watched the glow polarize along the axis, found the light behind the clouds. And now I know which way is west, which way the coast extends. Beyond the gray horizon's lying line, the sunstone does not guess, it comprehends the physics of the light, the sky's design. I have crossed 3 weeks of open water,
using only the stone,
the stars, the birds,
the color of the seas increasing matter,
the smell of land before it,
the unheard,
but felt arrival of the shallow ground beneath the hull, the change of current slight,
the way the wave pattern shifts around,
a landmass somewhere
just beyond the night.
Polaris fixed above the northern rim, the sun's arc low along the further west, the way the birds flew toward the fading dim of evening, all of it the compass, the test. Navigate by stars when the world runs out,
Navigate by stars,
navigate by stars when the maps run out, navigate by what the sky has always known,
navigate by stars,
navigate by stars, and go alone, into the nothing that is not nothing, to the blue that holds the other green. Navigate by stars,
keep going,
past everything,
to what has not been seen.
The scholars of the South had their instruments, their astrolabes and their careful calculation. The Norse had something older, the intents of a body trained to read without translation. The gut, the skin, the inner ear, the eye, trained to catch the gradient of the swell, trained to read the ceiling of the sky, trained to know what only sailors know, to tell themselves that feeling is a kind of knowing, that the body holds a map, the mind forgot that every cell has a compass, always showing to the place that has not been reached. But not yet reached is not the same as unreachable, not yet seen is not the same as hidden. Every coast was once unteachable, until the first keel arrived, unbidden. Navigate by stars when the world runs out,
Navigate by stars,
navigate by stars when the maps run out, navigate by what the sky has always known,
navigate by
stars, and go alone, into the nothing that is not nothing,
into the blue that holds the other green.
Navigate by stars,
Keep going,
past everything,
to what has not been seen.
On the 31st morning, he saw the birds flying west,
Not seabirds,
lambirds.
he followed them.
3 hours later,
The coast appeared,
he did not name it yet,
he only stood at the prow
and looked at it.
for a very long time.
Had stood here before us, no hand had touched this stone, no language had been spoken for us to arrive to. We were alone, in the purest sense of alone, the first of our kind in this place. No echo of a familiar tone in the tree line, in the open space. The birds were different, I noticed that first. Different songs, different wing shape in the sky. The trees wider, the undergrowth burst with the green that the north doesn't supply. The river was cold, same as home. The fish were there, same run as home, but different. The particular hue of the foam, the particular weight of the stone. In my hand, a different stone, a continent that had its own geology, its own deep time. Before our intent had even reached it, it had its own. I am the first pair of eyes from the east to look at this hill, this tree, this coast. I am the temporary and the least of what this land is, and I am its host. Of a moment, just a moment in its long uninterrupted life before we came. I am the visitor. I do not belong to this place, it belonged before I named. The western shore, where the east meets the new. The western shore, under a different blue of sky. The same sky, but the angle different. The western shore, the crossing, the sufficient proof that the world is larger than the knowing. The western shore, where the Norse were going when the east ran out of coast to find. The western shore was always in the mind. We spent the winter in the structures built from the timber of these unfamiliar trees. We learned the sounds, we felt no guilt for being here, just the clarity of the freeze that told us you can survive here, you can build here, you can stay. The land does not reject you. The severe cold of winter is the same across the way of ocean, just a different direction of the same cold that we understand. The fish spoke to us the same instruction as the fjord. The forest to the hand felt like forest. The deer different, larger. The bear different, larger. The particular abundance of this coast, a broader range of what the land can offer. I thought of home, I thought of the familiar smell of the smokehouse, the hall at night. And this coast asked me, what is the particular difference between the familiar and the right? What if right is here? What if right is the unfamiliar with enough time? What if every home was once a first night on a coast that asked you to define what home means past the accident of where you happen to be born? What if home is where the will was sent by everything that made you forward worn toward this coast, this particular, this western shore of a world without a Norse name yet? What if this is the answer to the question of where the blood was always meant to get? I am the first pair of eyes from the east to look at this hill, this tree, this coast. I am the temporary and the least of what this land is, and I am its host. Of a moment, just a moment in its long uninterrupted life before we came. I am the visitor. I do not belong to this place, it belonged before I named. The western shore, where the east meets the new. The western shore, under a different blue of sky. The same sky, but the angle different. The western shore, the crossing, the sufficient proof that the world is larger than the knowing. The western shore, where the Norse were going when the east ran out of coast to find. The western shore was always in the mind. We left, the sagas are honest about this. We left because the distance was too long. We left because the people were too populous. We left, but leaving does not mean we were wrong. To come, it means we came and came back. That is the sailor's relationship with coast, not the conqueror's permanent attack, but the finding, the returning, the toast to what was found and what was left standing. The coast remains as it always did before us. Our leaving was not abandoning, it was the sailor's discipline. You did what you came to do. You saw the new shore, you proved it was there. You brought the proof home, you leave it as you found it, and more. You leave it with its own name and your own. The western shore, where the east meets the new. The western shore, under a different blue of sky. The same sky, but the angle different. The western shore, the crossing, the sufficient proof that the world is larger than the known. The western shore, the furthest we have gone. The western shore is in the blood and bone of every sailor, every navigator, everyone who stood at the edge and looked west. They left it there, the coast, the vines, the white trees. They sailed back east with the proof in the hull 5 centuries past. The coast waited, as it always had, as it always would. His children were the wolf who will swallow Odin, Jörmungandr, the serpent who will kill Thor, Hel, the goddess of the dead, Sleipnir, Odin's eight-legged horse, Narfi and Vali, the sons they killed. Tell me again who the monster is. They came from my blood, oh the blood that passed through me, the shapes that I became, the flood of consequence, the escapes that caused the forms that left something behind. The mare who birthed the eight-legged, bereft of the ordinary, the bear of carrying what the transformation left inside the lives that grew from what I was, the station of their father, what I knew they would become, and what the gods would do with what they were. I knew I'd play the odds the gods would not tolerate, and through me, through my blood they came, and what came through me was exactly what my name implied, the untamable free. They bound the wolf, my son, with impossible thread. They threw the serpent to the sea. They sent my daughter to the land of the dead, and kept Sleipnir, took him from me. They distributed my children like the pieces of a problem. The gods were building towards solution, but the solution was the problem. Father of monsters, father of the end, father of the things that will not bend, to the comfortable, to the tamed, father of monsters. I am not ashamed of what I made, of what came through the blood, the shift, the breakthrough of the necessary and the unavoidable. Father of monsters, I am the deployable force, the charge, the direction of everything the ordered world calls its disaster, its infection, its coming undone, unfurled. Fenrir, my son, I watched them bind him, I watched the gods smile at Gleipnir's hold, I watched them leave the island, leave behind him alone, my son, in the cold and roll. In the long patience of the bound, I know that patience, I would learn it later. In the cave, in the underground, the patience of the ones the world made greater. Enemies of not because of what they did, but what they were, the category of the too large, the too much, the shut out, the confined, the mandatory distance the world keeps from what it fears. My son and I, both bound, both waiting, both counting something in the dark, the years or the venom drops, both contemplating the same horizon, the horn, the breaking, the arrival of the time when the bound things come reborn into the open, into the rhyme of the ending and the starting. They bound the wolf, my son, with impossible thread. They threw the serpent to the sea. They sent my daughter to the land of the dead, and kept Sleipnir, took him from me. They distributed my children like the pieces of a problem. The gods were building towards solution, but the solution was the problem. Father of monsters, father of the end, father of the things that will not bend, to the comfortable, to the tame, father of monsters. I am not ashamed of what I made, of what came through the blood, the shift, the breakthrough of the necessary and the unavoidable. Father of monsters, I am the deployable force, the charge, the direction of everything the ordered world calls its disaster, its infection, its coming undone, unfurled. My daughter, the the pale and the dark, half living and half dead. The hall of Niflheim, the cold, the mark of what she was, and the call of her mother's side, the Jotun blood, the neither nor the in-between. She took her place the way she could, with the dignity of the unseen, quietly ruling the enormous population of the ordinary dead, the ones not taken by the enormous drama of the battlefield. Instead, the fever, the accident, the age, the slow and quiet, and she held them without Peter, without the stage of Valhalla. She fulfilled them with the simple honor of the scene, the acknowledged, the received, the hall where every ordinary bend was finally fully believed. My daughter, who they threw away, who they sent to the grave because they feared her, she became the keeper of the day today, the uncelebrated, and she neared her, but with all the dignity they never gave her, all the grace they did not offer. My daughter, in the cold and brave, in her own quiet, particular coffer of the necessary, the essential with the truth.
She is what happens to the rest of us.
She is what waits after all the through
Of the dramatic, the extraordinary fuss.
She is the last address,
And she is good.
she was always good,
She was mine,
and they threw her away,
because they could.
and she made something sacred of the assigned. Father of monsters, hey, father of monsters, hey, father of monsters, na 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 na, father of monsters, hey, father of monsters, hey. They came from my blood, or the blood that passed through me, the shapes that I became, the flood of consequence, the escapes that cost, the thrones that left something behind, the mare who birthed the eight-legged, bereft of the ordinary, the bear of carrying what the transformation left inside, the lies that grew from what I was, the station of their father, what I knew they would become, and what the gods would do with what they were. I knew I played the odds the gods would not tolerate, and through me, through my blood they came, and what came through me was exactly what my name implied, the untamable free. They bound the wolf, my son, with impossible thread. They threw the first transformation was accidental. I did not choose to be the thing I was. I simply, in a moment consequential, found the shape of what the moment does. To one who has no fixed form as religion, no rigid outline that the self demands, I move between the solid and the vision of what I needed, like the tide changes sands. They called it deception, I called it reading what the room required, what the gap between the problem and the solving, seeding the answer in the form, the overlap of what I was and what was needed is not dishonesty, it is the art of the one who has not wholly conceded to a single face, a single part. To be one thing always is the luxury of those the world has never pressed against, the ones who've never needed the recovery of transformation, never faced the fence of the impossible and had to find the door inside, the shape that fits the lock, the ones who've never needed a different mind than the one they woke with on the clock of someone else's emergency. The shapeshifter reads the room before the room knows it's red. The shapeshifter finds the thread between the problem and the other side. The shapeshifter has no fixed pride to protect, no single face to wear. The shapeshifter goes where the gifted dare not go, because it costs the shape. The shapeshifter pays the escape from the single, the fixed, the one. The shapeshifter is never done becoming. That is both a gift and prize. The shapeshifter, never the same twice. The mare that ran beside the builder's stallion to draw it from the task to stop the wall. Before the payment clause could be the billion tons of sun and moon, the forest all was elegant. A mare, a single night, a distraction perfectly placed, timed. The stallion followed the builder's plight, was suddenly a problem undesigned. From its solution and the wall unfinished, and the price unpayable, and Asgard safe again. The gods undiminished raised their cups and praised the disregard of pride that let the shapeshifter become whatever saved the day. They praised the cunning before the cost arrived. The silent sum of what the transformation left me running into the next shape and the next. The permanent impermanence of never fully being one thing long enough. The recurrence question, who am I beneath the seeing of every eye that sees a different face? To be one thing always is the luxury of those the world has never pressed against, the ones who've never needed the recovery of transformation, never faced the fence of the impossible and had to find the door inside, the shape that fits the lock. The ones who've never needed a different mind than the one they woke with on the clock of someone else's emergency. The shapeshifter reads the room before the room knows it's red. The shapeshifter finds the thread between the problem and the other side. The shapeshifter has no fixed pride to protect, no single face to wear. The shapeshifter goes where the gifted dare not go, because it costs the shape. The shapeshifter pays the escape from the single, the fixed, the one. The shapeshifter is never done becoming. That is both a gift and prize. The shapeshifter, never the same twice. The salmon in the net, my own net, my own design. I built a net to catch a fish, and yet forgot that I became the fish, the line of logic tangled in itself. The clever mind that outsmarts its own construction. The net I built, the fish I was, the lever pulled by my own architecture. The reduction of the infinitely adaptive to the one form that the net required. And they pulled me out, the gods corrective, and the salmon gasped and I was tired for the first time. Tired of the shifting, tired of the being always other, tired of the weight of the lifting of everyone's problem, tired of the bother of being useful, tired of the clever, just tired for one moment of never, just being never, just the one, the self, the permanent. The shapeshifter reads the room before the room knows it's red. The shapeshifter finds the thread between the problem and the other side. The shapeshifter has no fixed pride to protect, no single face to wear. The shapeshifter went everywhere, became everything, paid every price. The shapeshifter was never the same twice, and sometimes wished he was in the net just before they grabbed him. He was still, not a salmon, not a god, not a giant, just still. For one moment, the only moment in his life, he was nothing in particular. He said later, it was the best moment he ever had. His mother was not Asgard. His mother was the earth itself, Odin's son. But the earth's child first. That is why he fights for the farmers. That is why he stands between the giants and the fields. He is not the god of kings. He is the god of the ground, beneath your feet. He does not sit on a high seat and deliberate. He does not send the ravens out to read. He picks up the hammer deliberate and goes to where the people bleed. Not the kings, not the jarls gilded hall, not the poets and the polished word. He goes to where the giants make the call, to the farms, to where the common cry is heard. His mother is the ground they walk upon. His mother is the field they break their backs for. His mother is the frosted earliest dawn that they wake up to when the harvest tracks for. He knows that smell, that cold, that labor. He is the blood of it, the literal son of everything that lives by the favor of rain and sun and the work not yet done. The gods of Asgard look down from their hall. Thor looks across, eye level with them all. He does not pity, he does not condescend. He is what they are and he will defend what they are, because it is what he is. The earth, the grain, the ox, the cold, all his. Son of earth and thunder, he walks the ground. Son of earth and thunder, he makes the sound of protection, not the distant, not the above, but the standing between. The warrior's love of the thing worth protecting, not the glory, not the saga's telling of the story, but the actual hands, the actual feel. Son of earth and thunder will not yield. When the frost giants came down from Jotunheim, when the cold moved into the farming valleys, when the harvest failed in the long winter time, and the giants laughed at the human sorrows, he didn't wait for a council's permission. He didn't frame it in the language of strategy. He strapped a belt, the strength's addition, and went north alone without apology. Megan yelled tight across the chest, John Graper on the fist, the iron gloves, the hammer swinging. Not a test, not a demonstration, the actual shove of something enormous back into the mountain, back into the cold where it belongs. Not for gold, not for a drinking fountain of glory, just because it was wrong for the giants to be in the valley, wrong for the cold to take the harvest rolls, wrong for the frightened to hold the tally of every winter that the giant throws at the ordinary, at the unremarkable, at the human who just wants to feed his house. Thor's fury is not complicated, trackable to one single cause. The giant, the louse is in the valley, and that ends now. The gods of Asgard look down from their hall. Thor looks across, eye level with them all. He does not pity, he does not condescend. He is what they are and he will defend what they are, because it is what he is. The earth, the grain, the ox, the cold, all his. Son of earth and thunder, he walks the ground. Son of earth and thunder, he makes the sound of protection, not the distant, not the above, but the standing between. The warrior's love of the thing we're protecting, not the glory, not the saga's telling of the story, but the actual hands, the actual field. Son of earth and thunder will not yield. The skald sings of Odin, of the wisdom, of the sacrifice, the eye, the tree. And Odin deserves the song, the kingdom of poetry. It belongs to he who gave it, but the farmer at the table, who has never read a rune or heard a verse, who only knows the thunder and the fable of the red-bearded god, who lifts the curse of the giants, of the crops, of the children, of the animals shivering in the dark. That farmer does not need the wisdom, he needs the hammer and the mark of Thor upon the doorpost of his holding. He needs the simple certainty of this, that something strong is watching, something bolding enough to stand between, and strong enough to fix what giants break, what cold destroys, what the powerful do to the ordinary son of earth. No subtlety, no poise, just the thunder and the necessary. Son of earth and thunder, he walks the ground. Son of earth and thunder, he makes the sound, the protection of the distant, not the above, but the standing between. The warrior's love of the actual, the field, the family's key. Son of earth and thunder does not sleep when giants cross the line, he does not wait. Son of earth and thunder is already at the gate. They hung the hammer above the cradle, they hung it above the door, they hung it at the wedding, they hung it at the burial. From birth to death, the hammer watched, he watched. The son of earth never stopped watching.
The hall was large and possibly the ceiling, lost in darkness at a height beyond a name. The giant smiled with the particular feeling of a host who knows the outcome of the game. Drink this horn, he said, the warriors of my hall drain it in 1 or 2 attempts. I lifted the horn, the challengers and warriors in the hall went quiet, without contempt. Just attention, the kind that concentrates around something it does not fully understand. I drank until my lungs deflate and needed air, and lowered, and the band of meat inside was barely lower, a finger's width, perhaps no more than that. The giant smiled, not cruel, just the slower patience of the one who knows the stat. I failed the test 3 times, I failed completely. I could not drain the horn, could not lift the cat, could not pin the old woman, but discreetly the giant showed me what I had been at. The Tests of Útgardar, the impossible made real. The Tests of Útgardar, where failure is the field of something too large for the category of winning. I was playing in a story where the opponent was the ocean, was the world, was time itself. The Tests of Útgardar unfurled what I was actually capable of doing, moving the immovable while losing. The cat, lift the cat, a simple grey cat arching in the middle of the floor. I reached beneath easy, nothing to that, bent my knees and pulled and more. One paw barely left the stone, one single paw, the rest stayed on the ground. The hall was silent, I was not alone in understanding this is not a sound problem, this is not a strength problem. There is something in this animal that exceeds the category, the column
of measurable, something botanical and geological and oceanic. In the weight of this gray cat on this floor, I stood back, one paw off the ground, and in that moment understood what I'd come for.
Was not the contest,
Was the education of what I am against what is
the vast and patient,
the foundation of the world against justice. I failed the test 3 times, I failed completely. I could not drain the horn, could not lift the cat, could not pin the old woman, but discreetly the giant showed me what I had been at.
the Tests of Útgardar,
The impossible made real,
the Tests of Útgardar,
where failure is the field of something too large for the category of winning.
I was playing in a story
Where the opponent was the ocean,
was the world,
was time itself.
the Tests of Útgardar unfurled
What I was actually capable of doing, moving the immovable while losing. The old woman, Ellie, wrestling age itself. She took me to one knee, one single knee. The accumulated weight of every shelf, of passing time and one opponent, me, against the one force in the 9 worlds that no god has ever fully beaten. Time takes everything, uncurves every victory, leaves it eaten down to the bone, and then the bone. And I took her to one knee before she took me down. I wrestled time almost alone. I held my own almost against the crown of every force that has no counter. And the giant said, we must destroy this place before you return the mountain to counter every structure here we must erase. Because if you come back knowing now what you were actually fighting, knowing that the ocean and the how of the world's weight and time's own biting were your opponents, and you nearly moved them, we cannot survive a second round. He said this clearly, you are too dangerous, stay alive somewhere else. You have already proven something no one should prove here. Go, the Tests of Útgardar already cost us more than we can afford. It's clear.
the Tests of Útgardar,
The impossible made real,
the Tests of Útgardar,
where failure is the field of something so enormous, so precise, that losing it 3 times was worth the price of knowing. I moved the ocean just a thread, I lifted the world serpent barely off the bed of the floor. I wrestled time to one knee. The Tests of Útgardar were never about me.
Winning, they were about
What I
could almost do.
He came back. Of course he came back. The hall was gone, vanished, as promised. He stood in the empty field where it had been.
He held the hammer.
He looked at the sky.
He said, I want to try again.
There was no one left to hear it.
He said it anyway.
You have heard the sound all your life. You know it since before the name, before you understood the knife of lightning and the way it came. Before the fear, before the after, before you sorted it into the shelf of natural events, before the chapter was closed and filed, the sound itself was the first language you ever heard from the sky. The first time the above communicated, not a word, but not nothing.
The sound of something that has mass and motion, moving through the air with consequence. Something that commands a kind of devotion. Simply by its scale, it's immense, undeniable presence. The North did not call it empty sky noise. The North listened to it, heard the name. The North gave it a face, a voice, a red beard, and a reason, and a claim on the attention of the living. Because the living needed it to mean something, needed the sky to be giving. More than weather, needed the between of the natural and the sacred. To be smaller, to be crossable. The thunder is the moment consecrated, where the human and the possible become briefly the same thing. Thunder is not empty, it has a name. Thunder is not empty, it has a claim. On the morning of the farmer and the child, on the warrior sleeping in the wild. Thunder is not empty, it is the sound of the protector, making his round of the outer edge, the hammer, clearing what should not be the grammar of the gods in the sky, spoken plain. Thunder is not empty, it is the rain, coming the giant, going the field kept. Thunder is the sound of a promise kept. I have stood in the open field in the storm, and felt the particular relationship between the hair on the arm and the warm shock of the air before the lightning's whip cracks the sky above, and the sound follows, and the body knows without the mind that something passed very close. The hollows of the chest vibrate, and you find yourself for 1 second entirely in the present. No past, no future, no argument, no plan entirely. Just the field and the sky and the blow of the sound through the body, and the smell of iron and rain, and the particular alive of being exactly here. The spell of the moment broken, and you survive into the next second and the next, and the thunder rolls east and the ordinary returns. Slowly the text of the daily, the February morning returns. But something was there for 1 second, something that your ancestors would name without prompting. Something passing overhead, running its rounds as it always has. The North did not call it empty sky noise. The North listened to it, heard the name. The North gave it a face, a voice, a red beard, and a reason, and a claim on the attention of the living. Because the living needed it to mean something, needed the sky to be giving. More than weather, needed the between of the natural and the sacred. To be smaller, to be crossable. The thunder is the moment consecrated, where the human and the possible become briefly the same thing. Thunder is not empty, it has a name. Thunder is not empty, it has a claim. On the morning of the farmer and the child, on the warrior sleeping in the wild. Thunder is not empty, it is the sound of the protector, making his round of the outer edge, the hammer, clearing what should not be the grammar of the gods in the sky, spoken plain. Thunder is not empty, it is the rain, coming the giant, going the field kept. Thunder is the sound of a promise kept. Every culture gave the thunder a name. Every culture, east and west and south, looked at the sky on the day the storm came, and did not close but opened the mouth, and gave the sound a meaning, a presence, a face, a will, a story, a concern for the human, the universal essence of the species. We look up and we discern something that is not indifferent to us, something that is not purely mechanical, something that the bones and the calculus of survival taught us. The botanical and animal and human agreement. The sky is not nothing, the thunder says something, and the ancient achievement of the North was only this, to praise the sound with the name that matched its weight. A name that said, I know you, I have heard you since the first morning. I don't wait in fear, I hear the thunder and the word that comes with it. I hear the rounds being made, I hear the hammer overhead in the rain. I hear the oldest bargain never paid. I will protect what's below, and you will stand and not look away from the storm. So when the
thunder comes tonight, and the children flinch against the sound. Tell them what the North got right, tell them what the hammer found. Above the field, above the fear, the thunder is the sound of something working, something that has always been.